on Tuesday for the European sprint race. Sprint races, I should say, as the drivers have come out onto the final turn now. Final turn is called Virage du Pont, or the bridge turn, in turn 15, as the drivers now get ready to go then for 1 hour's endurance race around Paul Ricard in France for round 7 of the championship. Tin in the rare metals racing on the inside as they head down towards the first turn, the Est de la Verrerie. And it's dropped the clutch, and it's go, go, go as we get underway. It's Tin ahead of Marnik. How will they navigate this first very difficult corner and tight section? Well, one of the cones has gone begging already. I think with 5 wide into the corner, and our Porsche of Harry Effect managing to survive that particular incident there, as Marnik has dropped back slightly, flashing the lights away here, as Tin leads Marnik and Angel in the McLaren, with Aries in the BMW ahead of Mixer in the Mustang. And we continue down through the tightest corner on the circuit, the Virage du Camp, and we head through Virage de la Sainte-Baume, which then starts the famous Mistral Straight, which is, of course, the named after the wind that blows down the circuit here, giving the drivers phenomenal downforce. This is Mixer. Look at him go here in the BMW as he peels to the inside, not defended here by the Mustang of Angel. Sorry, by the this is Aries right behind Angel there as we head down towards that Courbe de Sagne in the right hand.
See you guys at the end of the race.
Just a tap on the brakes as we head into there. Will we see any more drama as the drivers come through? And we've got Nate in 11th, we've got Major down in 12th position. Major going down the inside here on Nate. He's had plenty of practice of this one. Rick or Major through in the European sprints this earlier in the week as they funnel into this now really difficult third sector of the racetrack. This is the battle currently between Phantom and Runks. Got King is right there. Runks on the outside in the blue McLaren. There's a little touch there with the Kingsman Motorsport, and he ducks out of the throttle because he's in a Porsche, and you absolutely have to. Scorching down the inside goes Ghost Stroke into the inside edge of the left-hander here on the heading in towards De La Tour before they head into the final corner of Virage du Pont, and it is Ghost Stroke up to 17th place, being absolutely on the right moment there on his way through. Down in the GT4 field, of course, the driver's slower away, but Dave is in the lead ahead of Mike, and now let me see. Well, actually, no, Dave has dropped back, so Alec leads the GT4 field as they run through these next few corners. There is Alec in the lead of the GT4s ahead of Mike and Hunter, as I will try and give you a better leaderboard display now that everybody has completed a good couple of sectors here, and we give you all the information that you need on screen, and you come to expect. Of course, we'll give you the top half and the bottom, the top 10 and the bottom 10 or so, 15 or so drivers here as we run through. It's Alec then in the lead of the GT4s ahead of Mike, Hunter and Dave, who's had a problem. Dave, who has ended up further back then in the order as the drivers come through. Let's see as they filter through the snaking, difficult, twisty and tight corners of the Circuit de Pont. Dave is down in 25th and fourth in class. He's chasing down Hunter here, who'll be most surprised to see Dave directly behind him. But Dave in the Chevrolet, heading up down that Mistral Straight as they head towards Sanya corner, fast flowing right-hander, and it looks like he's going to get away. Looks like our curbs have been painted pink in honour of the Lingard family as well. So our thoughts to all of them as well, as you see pink flashes or the teal flashes on the drivers' cars here in honour of the family that we're giving our best support to. That is MDJ, who is scratched up his Porsche a little bit. The GT3 car trying to come through now. Hunter holding firm on the inside line as he has every right to do, and safely through. So let's go down through here. We've got North Sea in the Mercedes ahead of Citrox in 6th place in the class. Then we've got another GT3. It's Hellcat, who's had a howler at the start. Unfortunately, the 164 now down in 23rd position in the GT3 field. Head of Citrox there in track. Max Trax fights with Milkman, and then we've got Work Nickel in the 117 And we have Matrix in the 33 that you see on the bottom left of your screen, just ahead of Zati and Popper Pudding right down at the bottom of the order, 35 overall. Let's have a look though. Tin ahead by 1.8 seconds of Monik. And then we've got Angel, any distance there, 1.9 seconds between Angel and Aries Cloud, who's on his own at the moment in the BMW, but Rare Metals Racing in a very strong position once again, first and fourth place at this stage of the race. Let's have a look at everybody's chat here. Shannon says, Nordic Dad's family in the chat today. I've got the grandkids.
Oh my god, I've already got two. God, shit, okay.
Got the race and the TV in their bedroom. Fantastic. Hi to Nordic grandkids. This is a greeting from Bevo, your commentator, and Mauler Black Flag Racing. It's always good to have you here.
I don't care.
Claroma is here cheering on Rick, or as we know him now, Major.
I don't care if I have to drive through this race. Oh no.
12th position at the moment. Matrix, not a lot to show on Matrix's screen right now. Let's show you some Aries Cloud bottom left then, shall we? There's not much more to show on Aries Cloud's screen right now, but he can just see a car in the distance, so we will keep a close eye on everybody. What did I curse now, Gillard? Come on, already.
Okay.
What have I said wrong? As Otyu says, let's go. Let's go back and have a look then. Where is everybody? We've got Edie Rain in 9th place, Harry Effect in 8th. Great gaggle of cars running through here. Nordic Dad spun, did he? Oh, my apologies to him. I'm not going to claim any responsibility though, unfortunately. So we've got Edie Rain in 9th, Ruben in 10th, and then the ever popular Major here. Oh, big spin, and that looks like, was that Sublime? It was Sublime in the BMW, in the Kingsman Motorsport BMW entry, and he has to wait a huge amount of time. Yeah, it's much better to reverse onto the off-track moment, but we've got another spinner, and it's Crit in the number 92 there. Crit, I think, possibly seeing that what had happened in front of him. Chappie's waiting. I think Chappie and Crit must have come together, because Chappie is waiting then for Crit to go through in a very sporty gesture down here at the bottom end of the top 20 in the GT3 field, and running then into that Paul Ricard circuit. It's Chappie in 21st, MDJ in 22nd, and then comes Alec ahead of several of the GT3s still. Alec leading that GT4 field in the much favoured Mercedes. Bottom of your screen, got Aries Cloud on the left, Mixer on the centre, and Elite Rain on the right hand side. Brandon there, and you can get some Matrix as well if you so
oh my
desire.
God.
So really good to have you all watching. Let me know where you're watching from, and especially if you haven't spoken up yet and told me who you're cheering on today. Alec Hellcats is catching, going to overtake, of course, with that top speed advantage here as they head down the Mistral Straight towards Sanya, the right-hander. He's still got the headlights on there, Hellcat, but looks like a fairly bright day, not into sunset conditions yet. I think Hellcat deliberately turned his lights on ahead of the GT4 leader Alec, with Mike not letting Alec get too far away, just 1 second between the 187 and the 93. Dave, who was fastest in qualifying, has already secured, he has not already secured the championship. Dave has had a fantastic pole position, but he's actually out of position in the championship, several places back here. Then we've got Hunter, our admin and fearless leader, in P4 in the GT4s, followed by North Sea and behind him Citrox. Nice close battles between the many Mercedes of GT4. Out of that.
Oh, not again.
Final corner. 26.
That's the second time, Zaddy. It's fine.
26, I should say. Milton, Max Tracks in 8th place. Then comes Burke Nickel, making his way through, and Popper in 33rd overall, 12th in class. As cars says, I really need to change to the Aston Martin GT4. Why is that? Is it that much better than the Mercedes? But coming through there, Matrix then in 34th position. Zati, the only car behind him at this stage, also in the Chevy, as is Dave. And Tin Liters then in the BMW, the Rare Metals. So Carl says, I have to switch out. Hi to VR Hot Laps as well. Nice to have you with us. New friend of mine, that's at another league. Of course, no prizes for guessing which league. but great to have him. Do check out VR Hot Ups' videos online as well. Good to have you join us. We've got Marnik in second position, chasing down that title here, but unfortunately if Tin finishes ahead, it's all but all over, and Shannon's saying that Nordic Dad is back up into sixth position. Let's go and check out Nordic Dad, shall we? Angel in third, Aries in fourth. You'll be familiar with watching Aries. He informed me after the last race that he's not an aggressive driver, he's just a very friendly driver, and he's communicating of his friendliness, it tends to be with a certain degree of contact. So we'll look out for any more Aries powered friendliness. Mixer is in fifth. You can see him centre of your lower portion of the screen, and then Sim Racer, or Toza, as we're going to call him, in P6. Harry Effect is seventh. I'm not seeing Nordic Dad at the moment. Nordic Dad is currently in 11th, unfortunately. Here is a great battle, though. Sublime in P9. We've got Elite Rain in P10, with Nordic Dad there in 11th in that Swiss Flags Lexus, in the third car on your screen at this stage. Let's go out to the helicopter cam, shall we? Because that gives us a really good idea about where the different car strengths are. Expect the Lexus to catch here as the drivers try to use the slipstream. But Nordic Dad doesn't need no slipstream as he fires down the Mistral straight. It's going to be a tricky one to cut back from the outside here through Sanya. Nordic Dad will be in a good position. There's possible tiny little touch there between Harry and Mallard. Between Elite Rain and Sublime. Nordic Dad is trying to pick up the pieces from any possible run through here. And behind him, you've also got Nate as well, way out of position. Nate, as is normal for him, will run through. Nate going around the outside, and Nordic Dad says absolutely not. No one takes me around the outside, son. Nate is going to try and hang on though as they head round through the Courbe du Galabin and in toward the Virage de la Tour, the penultimate corner. This is a punishing track on the tyres, especially that front left. Nate trying to cut back through Virage du Pont. Remember, the drivers 8 minutes away from the pit lane opening for the mandatory pit stop, or mandatory pit stop, for 1 litre of fuel at absolute least. So there is Nordic Dad. Looks like Elite Rain losing a little bit of ground to Sublime there. It's on a much clearer run through the next few corners. We are right there with Nate in P12, and he is coming back on Nordic Dad. This circuit though, that long straight, that long Mistral straight, we were talking on Tuesday actually about how this track in GT racing, you would really like to have that chicane in the middle of the straight that the F1 drivers use, and in F1 you can really do without it and use the GT line without the chicane. It's all a bit backwards really here at Ricard. We wait to see then as the gaps have opened out to nearly to at least 0.9 of a second, if not more, between this group. But Nate is really going to struggle to catch the Lexus down that long straight, so he's going to have to rely on more tyre wear with the additional weight and drag and lack of downforce on the Lexus. Here is Ghost Stroke then, P14 chasing down Phantom Sam. Slightly closer quarter camera here. Ghost Stroke, actually, is defending from Rick, from Major Get Wrecked here. So Ghost Stroke with the pinky purple wheels and in the silver, black and gold Lamborghini. Not his favourite car at all. He would much rather, I think, be another machine. Rick is quite happy in this BMW right now. He's got on terms with it. It's a quiet car, very neutral. It doesn't appear to have any great strengths or weaknesses. The BMW. Through. So let's go Nordic Dad. Check on him again soon enough. We have a legitimate battle going on here. Ghost Stroke in the Lamborghini. Very on the nose, this car. Continue down on the right. He's on an NSX Evo kick, that Ghost. Yeah, I think that's exactly it, Carl. That was what he was saying to me. I can't quite remember which car he had mentioned to me. But yeah, he really likes the NSX. That's because, of course, the steering wheel is on the correct side of the NSX. That's why he favoured it, I'm sure. Here comes Ruben, having a little look down the inside. Identical machine to the BMW 215 in front. Ruben's somewhat out of position, you have to say, in terms of championship, and there's contact. Ruben's going to slot straight through that one. But yeah, unfortunately, it looks like Major just trying to maximise his run, misjudging, I think, then the switchback. Gets a little tag for his trouble, and that was Lime, who got into him and then suffered way more, I think, as a result. Lime into the barrier for a moment, unfortunately, and down, reversing onto the track. Plenty of gap, though, between himself and Howcat there, who, of course, started down, or at least after lap one, was way back down the order. As very races, great sportsmanship from Major there once again. Absolutely talks a good game, Major. He talks a pretty harsh banter, but when it comes down to it, he's a sportsman through like most of our races here, of course. Alec in P24, just ahead of Mike and Dave, but that's P1 in GT4 field. Alec doing a stalwart job here out front with the missing champion right now, unfortunately, but it's always good for drivers to have a go. It's arty, of course. We don't see claps. We didn't see Max tracks actually in the order, so I'll try and give you some of the middle of the field positions on the intermediate right-hand leaderboard there. Been focusing on the tail of the field for a while now. So we'll try and keep everything moving for you. Nothing really happening for Aries Cloud at the moment, so we'll switch back to Matrix, make sure we get plenty of GT4 coverage here on the broadcast. Looks like a drive-through for Mike. That will be track limits already. One of the first races I ever called here for Black Flag Racing featured an absolutely enormous amount of track limits penalties. So that is a really big deal actually for that GT4 battle. Looks like things are going to be made a lot more difficult then. It's pretty much between Alec and Dave now with that drive-through, but I would expect other people to pick up penalties. So what do you get? You get 3 strikes at track limits before you get a penalty, unless the track limit abuse you get like a double or something. But yeah, really, it's really strict around here. Very easy to trip over. Oh, that looks like down in the centre of the screen. That was Mixer having a move there. Let's see if we can't find what's happening with Mixer and try and get into that one. Apologies as we head all the way through here. Here is Mixer, and he's got himself ahead of Matrix. Looks like the driver's just coming through the field actually. So it's Sim Racer following Mixer for 5th, then 6th place for Sim Racer for Toza. We have Matrix in the thick of things here. I'm used to Matrix being green and black, so them swapping out so much pink on the car is confused me a little bit there. As Kyle says, has Marnik caught tin? Let's have a look, shall we? He has indeed caught tin, and this wouldn't be the first time that Tin has actually driven himself off the circuit, and that's a pretty big gap. There is Marnik on the outside of our racer, and there's 3 wide, and they go either side of Milkman, and somehow or other Marnik may have taken a track limit penalty for that move, but sometimes that's preferable to take one as you run through. Looks like Marnik has got himself ahead of Tin then for the lead of the race. I'm going to try and see if Marnik's stream is working for me still. It still says Marnik 2002 is offline, unless he's changed his Twitch stream or switched to YouTube or something, just to confuse me. That's Marnik then leading the field at the moment ahead of Tin. Remember, Tin's already taken his no scoring drop score there. Dad's sister Linda says, "Go brother, go." I'm so impressed that you get the whole family around every Saturday to watch the races. So cool to see everybody. Here is North Sea in 28 then, as Tin and Marnik battle. You've got Matrix on the bottom left of your screen, just being passed by several drivers right in the mix. You've got Marnik then closing in and trying to pass. I think that's Hunter, is it? In the gold and silver.
Car on the left.
Gold and silver Kingsman Motorsport Mercedes entry, just a few seconds away from that pit window opening. And there may be a big difference between the way these two drivers are going about their race management. Tin looking like he might be giving up a little bit of pace this stage. 1:59.2 for him. Last lap, 1:56.7 for Marnik, and Marnik has the fastest lap on the field right now. So Marnik with a little bit of pace in hand at this stage, I think, over Tin, his great rival at this stage. This is a nightmare scenario though, as they happen upon drivers fighting in the GT4 field. Not what they need there. You heard it from Hans, our race control director. Side by side down the Mistral straight with our leaders. The Lexus should pull ahead of the BMW here. There you can see it. The BMW had the better run out of the corner, but side by side we go down the long straightaway and in towards Sanya, the right-hand corner. But the Lexus is already completely ahead here. I think maybe Tin just eased off the throttle on the way into Sanya there. Just to avoid an accident, and that would be very smart as they head in then towards that pit window. We'll start to see pit stops happening. They are right with Alec, Dave and Mike then, the GT4 field leaders after just 10 racing laps in the GT3s. And we are 39 minutes to go then in the race. And here you can see it. It is Marnik versus Tin. Half a second between the two of them. Gotkin has already taken his pit stop, or is taking his pit stop, I should say. Ahead of this group, but they're going through that final corner. Rajna on the 15th corner onto the start-finish straight away. Barely get up into 6th gear as you head down here into towards the braking zone. Just at the exit point of the pit lane. It's all about not putting the foot wrong. I think that Tin will be trying to hang on to the coattails here of Marnik and do something different in terms of strategy. What are the lights flashing for from Tin here? Does he feel aggrieved in some way, or has he just hit the wrong button on his steering wheel? It's difficult to tell from trackside, but certainly as the leading driver, if you see someone flash you, start to wonder. And maybe that's all it's about, just a distraction tactic. Perfectly legitimate, of course. Oh, thank you so much to Thunder there. Gift us very kind in Canadian dollars as well, which is awesome. Thank you so much to Thunder Army. As we head down then this Mistral straight, will Tin be able to retaliate using the slipstream and get that inside line? I think Marnik will have the top speed advantage to dissuade a move, a dodgy move coming, and into Sanya, and that is the Lexus straight line speed advantage for a moment at least. Now the track should favour Tin, and you can see there Marnik going a little bit wide. Tin holding the inside line then into the double droit du Bossé, the double right of du Bossé corner. We're heading into the left, which is Virage de Bendor through turn 12, and he holds on as they respectfully race and continue then this great battle that has been flowing throughout the championship and many of our races here at the head of the GT3 field. Marnik comes into the final corner. Still ahead then at the end of lap 11. Neither of the drivers pitting. Just go back and check on the rest of our field. Angel in third, Aries in fourth, and behind him on track at least is the GT4 leader Alec, who is 4 seconds ahead of Dave. The drive-through has now been served from the corner, second place in the field. Brooks has taken his pit stop there in 25th, and we've got Hunter in 26th overall. Back to the top group of GT3s. Mixer ahead of Sim Racer, Toza, and then we've got Lime in the 26th place ahead of Sublime. Continuing, we've got Mallard, and then Nordic Dad has regained some positions. Here he is, and he's got Nate not far behind there in the McLaren. Nate's been unable to make the overtake on Nordic Dad, but seems to be following him through in his trip back through the field after an early spill. But doing the best now. See just that Lamborghini behind of Nate, the headlights ablaze. This centre of your screen is the 55. Nordic Dad, very popular driver here. Dylan Jeffries as well watching. So how many Nordic Dad fans do we have so far in the chat? I think I've counted at least 4 who have spoken up, as well as grandchildren and sisters, all watching on today. There he is, Nordic Dad. Nordic Grandad to sell. 10. Max Trax is 27th, being flashed at the moment by Phantom Sam, or Sam, here. And, down the outside then we go, Mistral straight for our BMW. We've got Max Trax just there with Ruben in P3 after a little touch earlier on. Elite Rain taking tyres, says Going Grace. Elite Rain taking tyres, that bottom right of your screen. So he's been watching carefully. I can't even see, even on my screen. I'm about 8 inches away from the screen. I can't see what's happening, but I know that Going Grace likes to watch the big screen at home, so you can see all the details. Hey, I'm just glad that my resolution is coming through fine and high def enough for you to see all those details. You can even see the slightly creased front fender of Ruben's BMW 3. Behind them we've got Major in 14th. Max Trax and Lime continue then fighting over 27th, 28th position in total. Let's just move that back down for you so you can track the bottom of the field out there. No disrespect to the field, of course. I'm just going to switch over because Matrix has a car in the distance. Just want to see what we've got in terms of Aries Cloud. Still very clear in front of Aries. Let's see. I might have to move Mixer's name here because of the camera he uses, but Mixer having a look on Alec there to put a lap on Alec. Just in my camera for no reason whatsoever. Work Nickel was watching the stream earlier this week in the Tuesday sprints. Don't forget, it is 1 PM EST Tuesday sprints, or essentially 6 PM race 1 start for the European. That was a little bit of green on green. No grip. And no grip. Team Go-Si-Do for a moment there. Hellcat making his way back through the field up to 15th place, but he hasn't taken his pit stop just yet. I just want to make sure we catch any pitting action from our leaders out here. There's North Sea, Chappie, Marnik and Tin. Marnik now opening the gap to Tin slightly with another faster lap, I should say, 55.3 from Marnik. Contrast that with Tin's 55.5. There's not much in it at all. So he is inching away, but only inching away. And that's just one tiny little mistake away from there being another change in the lead here. We'll watch our current championship leader Tin in that second position. Let me know, of course, Going Grays, what the final race will be of the season. This was supposed to be the final race, but we ditched Brands Hatch, which much to the dismay of the travelling fans in Kent in the UK, absolutely distraught that they wouldn't get to see their favourite black flag races. But we'll see. We are going to Brands after all that, Gillen. We are going to switch and go to Brands then, and have people touring around a very, very tight, twisty circuit, Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit out into the forest. South of England. Too much snow since Gillard we had that week. This is an interesting one. Ghost Stroke still holding off Got King there. So we've had the track ploughed. Hopefully the off-track stuff has melted, and that was Ghost Stroke. I can't quite track exactly what just happened, but Ghost Stroke wandering off the track for a second there, allowing through Angel, who was putting a lap on them, and Got King, who he was side by side with. Here they are, though. They carry on because with Angel Angel going through, Got King was hampered. Ghost Stroke needs to be incredibly careful taking that tight line into Virage Dupont, but what an overtake in the end there, ahead of the Porsche 201. The Lamborghini of, Lamborghini of Ghost Stroke getting ahead then and getting that place back, and that has got to be a really sinking feeling there for Got King. Commentator's curse is what happened to Ghost. Please, Kyle, will you not feed the beast about commentator's curse? Man alive, I am getting it. I'm getting a lot of ribbing at the moment about the commentator's curse. So it's not right. It's not right at all. it was all over. And VR Hot Laps was one of them, I have to say, in at SBR last weekend. So let's calm it down, because as much as drivers like to believe in it, there's absolutely nothing I can do to help or hinder drivers on track. Anyway, got King ahead of Elite Rain. You're saying you're doing out of love, and I don't want to fair enough. Alright, well, I'll try and find a way to do it. Go Stroke in 17th, got King in 18th, Elite Rain in 19th. What a fabulous battle going on with these drivers. Now, don't forget, as we highlighted in the pre-show, lots still to fight over in the teams championship. So they are really every little position like this that they fight over, even out in 19th and 20th position, is huge. That's another good one then, this time from Elite Rain, as you've got a great view of it, and we'll get a sort of action replay on the bottom right because of the stream delay. Down the inside goes Elite Rain. In fact, let's give you a slightly better view as I go switch views, and Gotkin went straight into Go Stroke, or the other way round. It's difficult for me to adjudicate on that one. You'll have to make your determinations. Let me know what you think happened out there on lap 14. But that got a little bit tasty there. Chappie's in 19th, MDJ is in 20th. This is Chappie closing in the McLaren. He's bringing MDJ right with him, and in front we've got Ghost Stroke. So they got right into it just as I changed camera for a more interesting view of what happened. Now, Ghost Stroke, I know, would normally happily see position if he felt he was at fault in any way. I see Marnik in the pit lane, slipping back down the order. Aries promoted to P2 now. You should probably see on your bottom left of your screen, or he will be momentarily as he goes past the pit lane. Let's go Nordic Dad. More love for Nordic Dad, I can see there. Chappie there, that's the driver just ahead of the black and pink Porsche. Got King 21st. After that contact, Ghost Stroke. Behind them, we'll see who's in 9th in his class. We've got Runks, Jeremiah, as you may know him, and of course, big love to Runks, who has repeatedly through this season sponsored the streams to allow the live viewers to not watch ads, because live ads are a pain. I know they can interfere. You can lose a couple of seconds of footage because you go straight back to live. You can always rewind a live stream, but it's not quite the same. So big thank you to Runks for sponsoring the stream in order to help our live stream viewers. Post on-demand views don't matter, because the ads obviously don't interrupt the action. We have Mixer in P3 at the moment, and he's centre of your screen at the bottom as well. Mixer yet to make his pit stop, but trying to make this race work out well. I think he'll be a very brave driver today who doesn't take tyres. We'll see what Tin does, because Tin often will go softly on the tyres, very Alain Prost style of racing, and show up near the head of the field at the end of the race. This is North Sea trying to allow Sim Racer by. Thunder Army is enjoying the race. That's good. Is it your first time with us, Thunder Army? It is. I'm very glad that you decided to spend your time with us today. There is Popper in P33, 10th overall in his field. So we'll go through and try and find that famous Nordic Dad. We've got Ruben in 8th, Marnik out in 9th place thanks to that pit stop there. You can see the pit stop has been taken because he's got a green bar next to his 666 there. The orange with a number 1 indicates the drivers still have to make that one mandatory pit stop behind. Then we've got Dave in 24th, fighting currently still just 1.5 seconds away from the GT4 race lead of Alec. Now it is so difficult in the GT4s to make to hold your position. That looks like a snack pack car heading into the pit lane, but it's so difficult to hold the distance to the car in front for a long period as you get lapped after lapped after lapped in the field here in GT4. So absolute hats off to Dave sticking with Alec here. We've got Matrix in 34th, we've got Angel out there in the blue McLaren, similar coloured scheme to Rooks. Big flash of the lights, I'm coming through, do not hold me up here, says says Angel. That's Zati fighting with Matrix at the moment. You can see Matrix. Now, that's interesting, isn't it? Because, sorry, Mixer. Because Mixer's wearing green and black. Matrix usually in green and black up there. We'll go back to Matrix, shall we? There he is on board at the bottom left of your screen. There's a little bit of action happening for Matrix right now. Just half a second away from his rival Zati there. No grip versus Apex Critical. And Thunder saying, I've been following, just figured out how to subscribe.
Yeah, collect that
Awesome.
account. Oh, lovely.
That's great. Yeah, please do subscribe today and hit a positive button on the video if you can. It really helps. Sharing the video is probably the biggest difference maker to helping the channel. As far as I'm concerned, you can create just a hidden playlist and stick my videos in the playlist. That also helps a huge amount. Big thank you to everybody who does support the channel. Thank you especially to Ghoststroke, who has joined us as a member of the channel as well, just to support my work here. On the Weber commentary channel, you see lots of action and lots of past races. If this is the kind of thing you like, there is lots of this kind of stuff going on the channel week in, week out, and a big library, especially of the Black Flag playlist that this video should be part of. Nordic Dad is in 14th place, but he has made that pit stop, so there'll be drivers ahead of him with 4 minutes to go to complete that mandatory pit stop, who will still be in a position then to take it. So we will see how this goes. As Gillard says, Mixer did not take tyres, 1 litre of fuel, the absolute bare minimum 3-second pit stop if he didn't have any damage to fit. You can confirm that for me as well. But Mixer going for no tyres on a very high deck circuit, especially on the left-hand side of the car. Depending on your powertrain, if you're a Porsche, you've got a nice balanced tyre wear. If you're a rear-wheel drive, then your front left will be hurting, I would imagine. And if you are a front-wheel drive, then you 3 to 5 seconds, says Carlos, no damage, exactly that. So your damage just compound in terms of your pit stop time. It can be absolutely insanely long, the pit stop. Here is Nordic Dad going for a move then on the similar on the BMW in front into the right hand. He needs to bide his time here as they run through that
I'm chilling. I'm in 34th, so
yeah. Into Virage du Camp at Virage de la Sainte-Bohème.
Behind Daddy, but he's faster than me. But I'm just hoping he fucks himself up. That's all.
Straight, and
respectfully, I hope he fucks himself up somehow.
Baby for the Lexus with a drive off the corner like that for Nordic Dad. Here he comes, side by side then with the BMW of Major, and sweeping around the outside. Major is going to be livid, but there's nothing you can do against the Lexus through there. Looking right round the outside of the circuit, and then they will head on in. Got a snack pack car in front. Sorry, that was Phantom Sandwich. Major will be watching all this in his mirror and watching to see what happens behind this group as well. We've got Sublime there, comes through for Rare Metals Racing, and that will please a lot of our crowd here. The 55 up to P12 at this point, but I imagine he's still got places he can make up through the course of the remaining 22 minutes. Now running out on the just out on the curb, that's perfectly permissible. The race controller not going to have words about that. As long as you keep 2 wheels on the black stuff with your centre between the 2 white lines, you're generally okay. Can often get away with off track if you're off throttle as well. Oh, that was a tasty attempt at a move into Virage du Camp there from Sublime, the BMW of Phantom Sam, not wishing to lose another place here. But he's got the inside line heading on into Est de la Verrerie, the first corner chicane. As they head down, it's a narrower line in though, and will tend to tip the car towards the apex a little bit sooner than you would like through the right-hander of turn 2, but going very nicely here. And it looks like Nordic Dad is going around the outside. This is very early to make a move. This is aggressive to say the least. He's going for it, and then took down the inside is Major, but surely then round that really tricky slow corner goes Nordic Dad, gets the car straightened up nice and early, gets actually tucked up into Virage de la Sainte-Bohème, and then through before they've even hit the straightaway. Now this could be a slightly mistimed attempt here from Nordic Dad. Will the BMW of Major be able to get tucked into the slipstream? Absolutely not. No chance at all. Nordic Dad streaking away up into P11 then. What a great sequence of 2 laps watching with the Lexus driver who takes 2 positions and 2 BMWs in that 2-lap run as Phantom Sam is fighting off Sublime, who's going to go down the inside. Sublime through Sanya. The next corner is also a right-hander. The Lamborghini will get into the corners a little bit better, but it will get out of the corners a little bit worse than the BMW. Very different lines through the corner. And another fantastic overtake. That is the pit lane closed. If, as we cycle through, we see anybody left with a number 1 next to their number and an orange bar, they have not fulfilled race control's instructions and they will receive a stop-go penalty, I believe. Anyway, we have seen no more drive-throughs either, which I'm hugely surprised by, but it's at this point of the race where drivers start to tire and get a little bit wayward in their driving. And the tyres, of course, in the final 10 minutes of the race, the tyres are virtually dead. There goes MDJ around the outside of Ghost Stroke, is it? Here we go, Ghost Stroke holding on once again. He's been putting in a huge defence and a huge slap to the side of the car for both cars that time. That was like a hockey manoeuvre from the Olympics. Oh no, I'm going to get demonetised. I said the O word. From the winter sports competition right now. Ghost Stroke switch back to the inside. He's, I think they made further contact. They're both pushing incredibly hard. Ghost Stroke ahead then of Got King now in the Porsche. Looks like MDJ got himself ahead of Chappie as well. After contact, I think Ghost Stroke flashing the lights there, thinking, actually, do you know what? That really wasn't a legitimate overtake round the outside. I know we were both off track, but you were more off track than I was. Ghost Stroke feeling against MDJ there, and he's also managed to get Chappie, who was caught up. I think Chappie may have had a spill at the exact moment. 17, 18, 19 positions, and we're still fighting like tooth and nail as we continue then through in this fabulous GT3 race, penultimate race of the season, with just one more to come next week, and then we head into our endurance season. Or at least the first race of the endurance season will be the following week. Not on this channel, at least as a commentator. I'm not able to do 6 hour races. And what's happening right now? This is MDJ getting by the Mercedes at the number 93, Mike in the last place at the moment of his GT4 field. Matrix has got some action happening in front of him on the left hand side of the screen as well. And Chappie and Ghost Stroke will have an opportunity here. Is that Ghost Stroke getting by Chappie? Potentially. No, that's Ghost Stroke fighting with God King still behind. Ghost Stroke and God King have been fighting incredibly hard. That's Arik and Jason, if you've been watching earlier in the season, respectively. And there's like a tight line. There's Ghost Stroke into this corner. Like some slightly different lines to the drivers around him, but it's not hurting his pace. 2:01 was his last lap, 1:58.3. That's some going. That's his fastest lap. I think we may have seen a 55 from our absolute fastest drivers. Completely trimmed out with nothing else happening to them at the moment. Marnik leads the race ahead of Tin and Angel. Aries in 4th and Sublime in 5th place in the GT4 field. We have I want to say it's Dave now ahead of Hunter and Alec. Let's go and have a check out about what's happening over there, because that is that's certainly a development in the GT4 field. So I'm just going to have to click through a few drivers. So forgive me for this, but Hunter out there in P2. What a race from Hunter in the 22 here. Sam in the pits right now. Presumably that must be damage, but Hunter has managed to gain 2nd place then in the GT4 field. I assume he has not taken tyres out there, and he is ahead of Alec, who was leading the race. He is behind, let me see, he is behind Dave in 24th or 1st position. So what a drive from Hunter here, bring himself into contention. There is Alec in the background. Right now he's being passed by Tin, who is leading the race, and it looks like Marnik might have just had a problem, or did Tin do his usual trick of not taking the tyres? My leaderboard is telling me that Marnik was ahead here, the 666. Let me just double check there. Yeah, let's just interact with that a little bit better and double check that everything is working well. I think we had a slight error. So there you have it. Tin is definitely ahead of Marnik. That would not be for the first time this championship that Marnik has taken the tyres and fuel as normal, and Tin has elected to just take the 1 litre fuel. But that's a 6.8 second gap. Fastest lap, 53.9 from Marnik. Absolutely flying. A 55.5 that last lap from him. Tin, 55.3, even faster on his previous lap. But some of that will be about traffic. We will wait and see what happens. Here is Aries Cloud on the bottom left of your screen, about to put a lap on Alec as they run through. Watching Mixer and Rain all race long, actually. Been very lucky today because there's no competition for their spots on the screen that I organised earlier on. We could have you could have as many drivers as you like, I think. Hopefully the stream will hold up. But I've had at least 6 or 7 running before. That was not an intention to say 6, 7. Like the grandkids of Nordic Dad currently gesticulating wildly on the screen because I said 6, 7. We've got Tin in first. We've got Marnik in second place, 7.3 seconds. Looks like Marnik is fading at this stage with not much in the way of traffic in between them. Hunter has been passed by the GT3 leaders for the second time here and is still in second place as they run through. I hope we can get someone to check on the kids because we don't want them to injure themselves. The commentator slipped up there. Hunter in P2 here. Remember, he's only got it's Dave in front. No grip, no glory is Dave. Firing around the outside. Let's just see a replay on the bottom left of the screen. That was Aries Cloud making the move. So Angel in 4th position. Can see Hunter. Can see Aries in front. Aries will be on for a fabulous result today. Potentially 3rd place here. We'll see how his run goes. 5 seconds in hand over 3rd for Hunter. Remember, you can get all this live timing, and you can help me out if you follow that live timing link I left in the chat pinned at the top of the top or bottom of your message screen. So you can watch your own live timing if you've got a second screen, and you can call out things that are about to happen that I can't notice because I'm busy watching other stuff that's going on. Here is Sim Racer or Toza in P6. That makes it 6.8 seconds in front of him. Alec there in 3rd in class. In between the two of them, Milkman 4th, I want to say, in class. Yeah, absolutely. And he's being passed here by No Grips Nate, the famous 189, the first driver in the server. Wasn't an admin. There he goes, sliding his way through. Watch the podcast. Circuit Sim Racing, Black Flag Racing channel. See Nate, as well as Hunter, Logan, and guests. Nate runs an F1 25 for the Black Flag. They Hunter as well. Tried to get me involved. I bought that game. And I'm kind of busy at the same time as them, unfortunately. Certainly can't fit in it practice at this stage. There goes Phantom Sam, 23rd of 24 GT3s. Mallard has picked up a drive-through, unfortunately, and he's only 1.3 and 1.7 seconds away from Ruben and Nordic Dad. That could be another place then for Nordic Dad. Here we go, more action for the Nordics as we run through. As Gullet says, no, another DT this time for the Mallard. Nordic Dad shaping to the inside here. He's clearly very keen to make these moves, but I have to say, with the Lexus power, wouldn't you just wait? Save the tyre wear and wait for your run onto the Mistral straight. And he's keeping them guessing, he's putting them offline, working the wheel, working hard here. He'll tuck back in on the BMW. Sublime will try and follow him through here using the slipstream and get a double slipstream. Look at Sublime go. What a top speed, incredible slingshot Sublime had out of that corner. Here comes Nordic Dad then. The Mercedes, sorry, the BMW on the inside of Rare Metal Racing, holding firm and then sweeping back to the left-hand side of the track. Will Nordic Dad be able to do this one? It's going to be really tight as they run through here, and he's got himself ahead with the top speed, as you can see, on board with him right now. And he's got ahead, but then boxed in. Sublime following through on the inside line, and the number 12 there is in a very, very difficult position. That was Max Trax in 28th overall as they come through. But Nordic Dad then up to 9th. That will become 10th if he can avoid a drive through himself when Mallard takes his drive through or stays out and appeals it and ends up many more seconds further back. Nordic Dad in the Lexus there because of the weight of the car, having to brake early, having to anticipate what this is happening with Mallard. Mallard caught off guard as Nordic Dad goes down the inside this time into the final corner. There's another car pitting on the inside as well. It wasn't Mallard for his drive-through. So here we go, Nordic Dad into P8. Didn't even need to make that move, but he's catching other drivers incredibly quickly. I think it'll be too much to expect for a P7 today, looking at the gaps, but you never know here at Black Flag Racing as we close in on these final 10 minutes of the race. Fabulous, really enjoyable penultimate round of the championship we've had today. Was that Easy Rain doing okay there, but right? I thought perhaps he was heading towards the pit lane, but he was just skating by the pit lane entry. This is Sam being passed then by many cars. Sam being passed by Ruben, who's putting a lap on them. And I think Sam just backing up, but then he gets to overtake Mike at the rear of the field at the moment. So Ruben and Sublime fighting over 9th and 10th. And that disappearing blue dot in the distance for Sublime is Nordic Dad's Lexus. So as we continue through, Thunder Army's in P2 in the leaderboard today on the chat leaderboard. So something you need to do better, I think, here for a newcomer to take P2 in the chat lead. Great to see. Here comes Phantom Sam roaring on by in the Beamer. 8 minutes 30 to go in regulation time here. We don't get overtime. I don't quite know why I said that. And we've got Major, who I think would have been hoping for more than an 11th place today. He may pick up another place from that Mallard drive-through in the end. We'll see if Mallard decides to go in a few moments. Can't see him right now. I think he did go in. Yeah, he must have gone in. He's disappeared off the leaderboard from my view anyway. Mallard currently showing as P14 on track. This is Ruben in 10th place. Just having a look at everybody. There is Major taking his 11th place now. Well, holding on to his 11th place, I should say. Ford now. We've got Max Trax. Currently 5th in the GT4. It's a good result. Faster right now, with 7 3/4 minutes left to go. Harry Effect, 188 in P12.
Car on the right.
I believe we have a 187, a 188 and a 189 in our race numbers. With North Sea in the 29th place then, in the pink for the Lundgaards, and Edie Rain in 13th place. So come on Nordic, you've got this. He's had a great race, some fabulous overtakes as well. Edie Rain, the Mustang, runs by, gets another tag for his trouble. Did he just disconnect? Or did he just slam on the brakes? I think he slammed on the brakes there, Edie Rain. As you'll see him bottom right go through that situation. Now that was a very odd one. Had the look of a mechanical failure there for a moment. It's okay. 13. So we've got Mallard who's made his pit stop at 7:11, which is great. 7:11 chases the 4:20. Very important. The 92 there quit in P15, and we have NBJ. Tin still leads Marnik out in front of the race. See the gap, 8.5 seconds. Tin looking really, really good. Aries Cloud has had a little spin at the bottom of your screen there. Aries Cloud spinning from 3rd position. Let's hope he can hold on to that 3rd, because he's really worked incredibly hard today for that one. Let's try and find out what's happening with him. This is Matrix being passed by Dot King. Let's see that momentarily. This is Aries Cloud. and he's brought himself, unfortunately, right into the clutches here for the final step on the podium. It is very much in BFR Premier Division here in GT3s. It's about the battle for third most races, and this couldn't be tighter as we bring this towards a close then. It is Aries third, Angel in fourth, and Mixer in fifth. You can see Mixer in the centre of the screen as well. Bottom there, so should have a really good view of what's going down. Angel will give up a little bit of top speed in the McLaren. Which is kind of crazy when you think about how good a road hypercar the McLarens are. They always give up that little bit of top speed, especially to a chunky looking BMW like that one that is at the front of the M4 GT3. To close in here, and definitely in a position where he's putting on a lot of pressure. See Mixer, bottom of your screen, coming through past Matrix, and watch what is happening in front. Mixer needs to get a little bit closer and pick up the crumbs if something happens between the two of them. As it stands, a touch of contact, a wide moment for both, and they can hold on to that third and fourth position. But Mixer could have this great opportunity to slide through a battle, a distracted battle pair here at the final step of that podium. They'll both make it via the Chevrolet. That's Zati and Barry. And that is a very strange line then from Angel. Unfortunately, that's going to be a huge, huge track limit cut by the time he gets out there. There's a flash of the lights. I don't know if there was contact or not, but Angel went very straight across the grid, possibly because he gave up the position. He's feeling he didn't gain a track position advantage, should we say. He ended up not taking, but you could see that I think there may be some damage on Aries' car, looking at the way he's just had a double turn into the corner. I think Aries might be in trouble. There's hazard lights flashing on Angel's car. Wait to see if the headlights get flashed as well. But just after that turn one situation, you can see Aries flashing the lights, indicating something to the McLaren driver of Angel. They will go side by side into this right-hander. 3 minutes 30 left to go, and this is absolutely grandstand situation here for the third position there in the Premier GT3 field. Out in the GT4s, Dave leads Hunter and Alec. Phantom Sam in between them. Obviously had a fair share of problems. And Aries then holding firm in the BMW. Does not want to give up any more places than he absolutely has to. But it's looking like he's slightly wounded. Could just be enjoying a little bit of tyre wear, but it did look like maybe there'd been a bit of contact and it might be hampered there. One hand down possibly on the steering as they both get by Jason Gotking on the way through, and that Mustang is lurking, says Gillen, which is absolutely true. Mixer over the hood of that Mustang there in the centre of your lower third. He's number 7, Angel is 4th on the track. 2 minutes 22 left to go. I'll try and catch it at 1 minute 11 as well as we run on then through the right-hander. And still the leader of the race is 10 ahead of Marnik, 7.5 seconds. Aries here is a decent chunk away from that battle. He's not worried about trying to get hold of P2. You can see the way the car just wanders through the right-hander. It takes 2 or 3 bites of the cherry to get the BMW nose through that one, and that of course hurts him through the House de la Saint-Bohème on the way onto the Mistral Straight. So it is a big issue then. I think Aries might be nursing. I'm sure he'll correct me later if all is well, but was clearly not particularly happy on that previous lap 28 coming through. Tyre wear or right rear damage, says Kyle Gillen. So he's seeing what I'm seeing, which is always a relief for me. And there's huge understeer through Mistral and into, through Corbisania and into the Double Droite Bossé, double right and ever decreasing radius. Connor's going to have to hold firm on the inside line because the McLaren is going to be hot into this left-hander. Here we go then for Angel, fighting hard and Aries is fighting both Angel and understeer. Chronic understeer right now. The final lap has begun from our leader, and he's holding the 44 firm down the inside. Let's see if we can't find Tin in a few moments, but right now this is incredibly close as the leader has started that final lap. Aries hanging on by 0.2 of a second. Where is Tin and Marnik on the track at the moment? They're a long way up ahead. Tin is currently heading through into the south side, turn 5, 6 and 7. And as Gilla says, that BMW is a right hunter at the moment. We're a little way off then. Let's try and see what happens to that battle for third, fourth and fifth positions. This is where the BMW is at its absolute weakest into these slow right-handers at the bottom end of the circuit. The hydrogen comp here. As we run through, you can see he'll turn right, he'll turn right again, and then sometimes he'll turn right for the third time, just to turn right in a constant radius corner, then try to feed into the next corner as smoothly as possible, avoid the track limits on the outside of the forthcoming corner, and he's looking incredibly vulnerable here. He's peeled across the inside once, he's peeled back to the outside, and he's peeled to the inside for the second time. I think that Angel might have words about that double movement, but here he goes down. He's got the inside line. He's got the greater amount of confidence on the way into Corp de Sanya. Could it be a final lap overtake for Angel? We've seen that Aries Cloud struggles on the outside, and he does make the move down to the inside. I'm going to have to cut really quickly back to try and catch Tin. Tin is currently heading into the final corner. Man, we caught that one tight. Here comes Tin for yet another win at Paul Ricard in round 7 of the Premier Season 3. Congratulations to him. Almost certainly, I would say, the champion now. Marnik home in second with the fastest lap as well. Congratulations to him. And then how is this all going to work out here for P3? Angel has managed to stay ahead, and there's trouble. There's trouble right at the final corner there for several drivers. Angel weaves through, makes a final lap overtake, clean in the end, and across the line for third place ahead of Aries, who's flashing the lights. We've got Mixer in 5th place. What a drive from Mixer in the end as he crosses the line. Lots of drivers finishing, some drivers happy, quite a few I imagine less than happy as they cross over the line. Let me try and find you what's happening at the bottom end of the field. I'll try and find that GT4. I've got a checkered flag for one of them, but Dave has not crossed the line yet. Where are you, Dave? There goes Nordic Dad to come home in P8 behind Mixer. Nordic Dad home in the Lexus, and that'll be a very popular finish. I think they're really hard fought. Here comes Dave at the head of the GT4 field to win in Paul Ricard. Dave home in the 31, and another great win for No Grip, No Glory. Ahead then of we got Major. No, we got who's second? This will be Hunter. Will it be home? How far away is Hunter right now? Where are you, Hunter? I've lost you. You can't be